So it is past that time of year where everybody and their dog in the gaming community has been compiling their lists for the best and worst games of 2017. And as I've been going through a lot of them and continuously trying to keep up to date with news and other avenues, I eventually get to the point where a lot of the lists are very samey, with roughly half of every list having the same games on them. Now, you might not know a lot about me, but I am not someone who plays games when they come out. And I feel I am justified in that choice because of continuous patches, instability at launch, as well as other things that get in the way of making the game fun to play. I did not even get into purchasing games when they come out until I had an actual job, but I'll come back to that a little bit later on. As I was exploring lists for this year, I came across a list from Pretty Good Gaming about the best games they played in 2017 that did not come out in 2017. And that connected to me more than any other list because it is relatable. There are a lot of other games people want to play, and I understand needing to follow trends, but there are so many good games that have come out that certainly don't hold you back financially, and may be more interesting to play. Another thing that connected to me this year was the 52 in 52 challenge, playing and beating 52 games in 52 weeks. In total, I played and beat 33 games this year, and I am proud of that number. It showed me that I have done a better job managing my time this year to allow me to relax and settle in with a good game. So putting together the games I played this year and inspired by the list by Pretty Good Gaming, I present to you a video series, a combination of reviews, opinions, and general talk about the games I played in 2017. To begin this list, the first game I finished in 2017 was Wild Arms. This game has not aged well. Wild Arms is an early PlayStation RPG with Western themes, including deserts, guns, magic, gods, space, demons, extinction, ancient technology, and poverty, Westerns. I think what really hurts this game more than its simplicity is the localization in English for it. There are some great plot twists and character moments, but it's pretty lackluster in conveying its story, and also where to go next in several places. However, there are a lot of cool things that this game used, including maximizing your ability to control all three characters in your party. This was used in a creative way in a tri-tower dungeon later on, using their abilities to help each other get through certain obstacles, and that each character has an origin story before you lead them all individually to the town where they all meet. The game follows a lot of RPG traits that come before and after it, including getting better modes of transportation, ultimately an airship, but some are unique in Wild Arms' case, an arena, and also side dungeons to get the best weapons and abilities for each character. The main problem I had with the game, though, is that it is really simplistic in its gameplay, where you don't need to look at the screen in order to defeat your enemies a lot of the time. I will say that status ailments are very dangerous in this game, but other than using attack and using your character's focus abilities, there is not much else to engage the player. I have not played an RPG in a while where magic is discouraged from being used. This is because you don't have a logical clue of what magic to use in certain fights and against certain enemies. I have heard that Wild Arms Alter Code F, the remake for PS2, is a great improvement from the original, but it will probably be a while before I play it due to it being so expensive to get. Electronic Superjoy. I started off this year wanting to play a lot of games on my Steam list. That didn't happen this year, but I did play Electronic Superjoy and enjoyed my time with it. Certainly one of those games where you learn when to stop playing, because you can feel yourself losing more and your reflexes are failing you. Hypervoid. Instead of playing a lot of my Steam games, I made a dent in my PS3 list, starting with Hypervoid. Hypervoid is a shooter that dynamically shifts your shooting environment as you go up against your enemies and fly through pretty backgrounds. The game has a good amount of content to it, and it changes and shifts its difficulty very well leading up to the boss fights. Pretty good if you're looking for something simple to play. Severed. I don't know what I was originally expecting with Severed when it came out, and it is one of the most recent games that I've played. Turns out it's a first-person dungeon crawler with fine-tuned puzzle solving and touch-based combat. It's also so nice I played it twice, mainly because when you buy it on one system you get it free on the other. So I played it both on my Wii U and my 3DS. I believe it's also on the Switch now too. In my opinion though, Sever felt better playing on my 3DS, having access to my map at all times, versus the Wii U where you had to switch back and forth. It's sad to see the Wii U gamepad not being utilized to its full extent, or even proper use of two screens where the map could be on your TV and the rest on the gamepad, but no, that was not to be. Even though I've played it twice to 100% completion, it still feels mysterious to me. The environment and atmosphere, as well as the story that does not tell you very much, or too much, does so much for this game in the long run. It's great. I highly recommend it. Far Cry 3: Blood Dragon. I'm not much of a first-person shooter person. I'll play them, certainly, but I have to find the right game to play. Everybody loved Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon when it came out, and people were blown away by how crazy stupid it was, loving the 80s feel and humor for it. I didn't really feel the same way about it. I enjoyed it enough to get all the trophies for it on my PS3, but because I am not that great at FPS games, I got the feeling that the game does not want you to die a whole lot. After hearing the same joke over and over, the vibes of the game crash into a giant crater that never recovered for me. I don't even remember the story, to be completely honest, but the game carried it alright. It's a fine game. Retro City Rampage. I think I've reached the point with entertainment where I don't find enjoyment in recognizing references, or having a game/movie/show held up by said references. I played and reached the end of Retro City Rampage, but I have no interest in playing through anything else in that sandbox city. Feelings aside, there were some missions and quick changes in gameplay style that were very welcome, I felt. Malicious. Malicious still baffles me. I didn't know what I played when I finished it, and apparently it was re-released in 2017 as Malicious Fallen on PS4 with new story content. What? Okay, you probably don't even know about this game, so I'll try to explain. You play as this spirit vessel, tasked to return gifts that were given to people below back to where the gifts came from above, because the people who were given the gifts have now been corrupted by them and have gained tremendous power. Once the power has been returned and given to the spirit vessel, the Malicious, this great final boss at the end of the game, can be fought and defeated, preventing a cataclysm. The game is split into boss fights in large environments, which you can deal with in any order, and your goal in each stage is to defeat the boss itself. The boss has an entire following of lackeys, who you can also engage, which feels a little like Dynasty Warriors, which allows you to gain Aura, one of the main mechanics of the game, a lot faster. With Aura, you can increase the amount of damage you do through releasing, as well as heal yourself when you take damage, shown as your spirit vessel missing parts of the body. Some boss fights are harder than others, especially when weak spots are harder to get to. But you get more abilities as you go, including movement abilities and other weapons that make other bosses easier, which would have been helpful to know before I spent 40 minutes on the giant walking tank boss and failed. The final boss is also a pain in the ass when he is a 2-stage fight, and Malicious plays by arcade rules, where you only have 3 lives before a game over. I think this game baffles me because there is so much that feels like it is missing from the game, which plops you down and just says play it. I probably won't purchase the game again, Malicious Fallen, just for the 2 additional chapters, and probably just watch them on YouTube or something. But something tells me I'll be thinking of this at some point randomly in the future. If you enjoyed this video, clicking a button or 2 is hard, I know, but just remember to come back every so often to see if I have more videos up. My schedule for videos releasing is inconsistent, I know, and my quality is questionable at best, so I'll leave it in your hands whether or not to subscribe or like or whatever. I'll keep trying with new things and continue to improve. That's all I can do. Take care, everyone.